This is Clint of the Geek Dig podcast, and you are listening to the one and only BS Podcast Network.
This podcast brought to you by OuchThatHurts.com. Visit Ouch That Hurts for music, gaming, reviews, editorials, podcasts, and more. OuchThatHurts, HERTZ.com. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Save Point podcast. This is episode 22, and I am not Dan. Dan is gone. I've killed him. No.
Oh, no.
Dan's off at a concert, at a music concert, where he's listening to music at a concert. And so I've decided to take his place. And with me tonight, we have the fantabulous return of Jesus. Say hello.
Hi, everyone. Glad to be back. Yes, I'm back. My second coming.
Your second coming for the third time. And also joining us is Tuesday.
Hey.
Hey, welcome back. And so let's talk games. No, let's not. First, everyone, check this out. We have a brand new website. Not really brand new. It's been around for a while, but now it's done. Now it's ready for consumption. So everyone head over to thesavepointpodcast.com to find links. So many links for everything. We've got posts for every episode. There's also a really easy way to join our Discord. There's a nice banner there that you can click on and get directly to our Discord. Also links to Ouch That Hurts, our partner in crime. And then iTunes, Podbean, Google Play, Spreaker, TuneIn. All those links are there, really easy to get to. So if you have found this podcast some other way and you're like, hey, you know what? I don't want to support iTunes anymore. No problem. We got you covered. thesavepointpodcast.com. Click on something and find us. Also, our Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, there's tweets. There's a link to the BS Podcast Network, which we're now a part of as well. Lots of moving and shaking going on.
Just shaking hands with a lot of people.
So much, a lot of germs being passed around. Do you guys ever clean your controllers?
Multiple times.
Tuesday?
Sometimes my dog licks it for me.
That's funny. I don't think I've ever cleaned a controller, like in a serious way. Cause I don't, there's not a lot of, back in the day you could sit down with your buddy or with whoever and, play a couple rounds of GoldenEye, but like that doesn't happen anymore. Everything's over the internet. So I have two controllers for my Xbox, but I only ever use one. And then when the batteries die, I pick up the dusty one that's been sitting on the shelf, wipe it off my pants real quick, and then keep playing. So, I don't know.
I think my controllers play better with like hot Cheeto dust on them. I don't know.
That's the true essence, right?
Just wait. Cheeto dust.
Just wait, Steve. Once your girls grow up, yeah, they'll be sticky fingers all over. That's kind of my deal. My sister takes care of a lot of kids, and they usually play on my systems, and sticky fingers are everywhere on my controllers.
Oh, that's disgusting.
I know. That's why I have my private controller on the side.
Do you have the thing where like you have the like official branded Sony controller, and then you've got like the ridiculous Mad Catz nonsense controller for the kids?
Actually, I do, because one kid's still not old enough to know that he's not playing when I'm playing. So yeah,
yeah.
But
he loves the pictures, so that's all that matters, right? Sometimes.
Hey, moving pictures. That's good. All right, let's get to some video games. Let's talk about what we've been playing. Jesus, it's been a while since you've been on the podcast, so why don't you hit us up with some of that hot gaming goodness?
So the reason I've been long gone from this podcast is I've been enthralled in Kingdom Hearts 3. I have been deep dive. I've misworked. Probably been fired by now. I don't know yet. But yes, I've been playing Kingdom Hearts, and the only breaks I've gotten from Kingdom Hearts is playing the new game, Apex Legends by Respawn. But those have been the two games I've been playing, and I can discuss those in a little bit. But yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Right on, right on. Tuesday, what have you been playing?
I've been playing the Book of Unwritten Tales 2, which is kind of like it almost reminds me of like Legend of Zelda was like a really cute game, and it was kind of like a choose your own adventure.
Oh, okay.
It's a real cute game. It's fun. There's a lot of interacting and a lot of it's very comedic.
I like that. That.
It's like a good relief from the day.
What is that like is that a PC or a Nintendo thing? What is that?
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's on the Switch, but I believe you can also get it on Steam as well, and I think PlayStation, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Good deal. What
so I
do you
think
know?
it's on just about everything.
Off the top of your head, I'm going to quiz you now. Do you know who the developer is?
I do not. But let's see. Yeah, it is King Art Games.
Okay, because it sounded familiar, but like I couldn't place it, and that doesn't sound familiar whatsoever. So
no, not a bell. Maybe there'll be something in the future. For now,
but
we'll keep
also
our.
on THQ is one of the publishers for it too.
Oh, okay. So that's how it's getting around. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Well, we'll dive into that a bit more in just a few minutes here. I played a little bit more of Farming Simulator 17, Game of the Year 2018, and a little bit of Resident Evil 2, the one shot 30 minutes deal that they had going on. And also like way too much Stellaris. That's the other thing. Hours and hours and hours of Stellaris. Which by the time this episode goes up, I think it'll, let me check a calendar real quick. Maybe not, but Steam is doing a sale right now. It's like the Chinese New Year of the Pig, I think. And
yes.
Yeah, and they're having sales on stuff, and a lot of the Stellaris stuff, if people have been listening or people are playing Stellaris, don't have any of the DLC. It's all like 50% off right now, except for the latest DLC, which just came out a few months back. So I picked up a bunch of the DLC because like 50% off, that's a deal. So then once you get the new DLC, you have to like start a new game and start fresh. And so I've done that several times now.
That's how they get you, Steve. That's how they get you.
They have their hooks embedded into my spine at this point. Anything Stellaris, I will now purchase and play. They've got me. So let's go round robin. How about I talk a little bit about Farming Simulator, and then I'll pass it on, and we can all kind of just take turns talking about these things we've been playing. Does that sound good, guys?
That sounds good. But this is what
I've been waiting for these Farming Sim updates.
I know. This is what everyone this is why I've been listening. Like last episode, I was like enthralled with the Farming Simulator. This is going to be soon the Farming Simulator podcast. If I have anything to say about it.
We're going to rename it, the Farming Simulator podcast. Farming Simulator 17. So on our Discord, which everyone should join and talk to us, go to thesavepointpodcast.com to find that link. I was challenged to get some pigs, and I believe Tuesday you challenged me to find some pigs.
Yes.
And so I was like, challenge accepted. Like, I can do that. I'm a gamer. I can do this. And so I kept playing Farming Simulator specifically to see like how long it would take me to get some pigs. Like if it was something easy, if it would take me a long time. And I'd only gone through, some of the tutorials. So I had a little bit of time on my hand. I went through, another two or three tutorials, until I felt pretty confident on the gameplay. And it is very simple. And so I started up a brand new game, in the campaign mode. And so I had my farm, you have a money amount, and it kind of walks you through how to get things kind of started up the first like 20 minutes or so of like, oh, go to this waypoint, do this thing, go to this other waypoint, do that thing. And then it kind of just lets you go and says, okay, you've learned everything. We've taught you everything in 20 minutes. Now play the game. And I very quickly found out that it should not be called Farming Simulator 17. It should be called get into your tractor or truck and slowly drive into town to buy and sell things simulator.
That is farming simulator. That's literally that's what my uncle does.
Yeah, that sounds the most realistic ever.
Yeah.
Oh man. I thought I was going to be driving tractors around fields and like planting stuff, but like all of the farm stuff that I kind of associate with the words farming, all of that's automated. Like you jump into your tractor, you attach the proper equipment, you go to a field, and then you just press a button to hire somebody to do it, or you could do it yourself. But having someone, hiring somebody is more efficient because then you can go and you can multitask and have several fields going at once. So once you do all that, it's like, okay, well now what? Well, now the game turns into get the crops and load the crops into a trailer and then slowly drive into town, find the place to drop it off, sell it, and then slowly drive all the way back to your farm and repeat. So you're not even on your farm during Farming Simulator 17. And the thing that killed it for me, the thing that once I realized, I was like, okay, I'm never going to find the pigs. And that was from anywhere, you can press a button and get the marketplace, right? So you can buy new tractors, you can buy new equipment, you can buy, different seeds, and you can buy houses, not houses, but like housing areas for your animal, like all this stuff. You just press a button, boom, it opens up this catalog, and you buy what you want to buy, and all the stats are there. It's great. I spent a lot of time on that menu going like, okay, what can I afford? How long is it going to take me to get this or that, blah, blah, blah. I narrowed it down. And I was like, okay, I'm going to buy this thing. I don't even remember what it is at this point. I hit the button to buy, and a thing popped up and I said, great, go pick it up. And I looked on my map, and it was like all the way on the other side of town.
Okay.
And I was like, come on, like all the other stuff in the game is automated except for picking up and dropping off stuff, right? Like you can hire an invisible person to show up and drive your tractors across your field. But if you want it to pick up like a new trailer for something, you have to get in a sad pickup truck that you have, or your tractor, a spare tractor, and then slowly drive all the way across town. And let me tell you something about this game. The driving physics are horrendous. They are the absolute worst. Like your turning radius, like, okay, so you're driving and there's a little speedometer at the bottom, and it's like you're going 20 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour. Maybe if it's a straightaway, you get up to like 50 miles an hour. And then you go to turn, and your vehicle turns on a dime, and it just like burp, and you just turn, and it's like, wait, what? Like it is insane. You can take a left-hand turn at 50 miles an hour, like a 90-degree turn, like no problem, just burp, and that's it.
Isn't that how real driving works?
Yeah,
apparently
that's how I drive.
Yeah.
Apparently I've been driving incorrectly all these years.
No one taught you the secrets.
No, it's all hidden in Farming Simulator 17. Go ahead, Jesus. What were you going to say?
No.
Okay. So the other thing so at one point my 4-year-old was watching me, right? She's 4, and she's like, what are you playing, Dad? I was like, I'm playing a farming simulator. And she's like, okay. She comes over, sits on my lap, and like, what are you doing? She has lots of questions. And so I'm explaining what I'm doing. I'm like, okay, I get this trailer and I hook it up to this thing, and I'm supposed to drive it over there. And she's making comments like, oh, that tree's pretty. And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty. And so at one point during the opening tutorial part, you are supposed to, you take your tractor, you hook a trailer to it, and you're supposed to drive to a waypoint. So I pretended I was playing Skyrim and said, I'm going to go over that mountain any way that I can. I am not going to go around it. The mountain is not going to beat me. So there's this like hill-like mountain that separates your farm and like the neighboring farm. And then the neighboring farm is right next to the city or the little town. And so instead of going all the way around to like the freeway, I was like, I'm just going to take my tractor with its trailer and go directly over this hill. And it's going to be awesome. It was not awesome. I get to the top, and then suddenly the physics engine decides, hey, I'm going to work. And going downhill, I suddenly like sped up like crazy and tried to like turn a little bit to slow myself down. Everything flips over. And I'm just
like real life.
Yeah. Like suddenly the physics were like perfect, like 1-to-1 to real life. And the thing flips, rolls down the hill. And luckily you just hit like one button and you just, disembark your tractor. So I hit one button and he just like jumps out and I'm like, okay, everything's upside down. And in some games that aren't like, physics based games, if you flip a vehicle, there's like a button to press to kind of flip it back. Or after a certain amount of time, it'll just kind of despawn and then respawn close by, flipped up. I was waiting for something like that to happen. It never happened. My daughter is getting very concerned at this point. She's like, Daddy, what are you going to do? Like your tractor is broken. You broke your tractor. And like, she's getting legitimately worried because she doesn't quite understand video games yet. She calls them like movies or vice versa. I'll be watching a movie and she'll ask what video game I'm playing. It's very cute. I'm very proud. So I'm like, okay, how do I solve this? Okay. So suddenly now Farming Simulator 17 has turned into physics simulator, car flipping physics simulator. So I run back to my farm, stop one of the other tractors, unhook its gear, and drive it back to the other tractor, push it up the hill, and then turn it and get it to roll back down the hill, and it lands on its wheels. And I was like, great, solved. I fixed it.
Nice. I like that.
The trailer was a little bit different. It took about 20 minutes for me to manipulate the trailer to push it up in a certain way to then like bend and flip over until it like flipped back on its wheels. And then after that, it took another like 5 minutes where it should have taken about 30 seconds to hook the trailer to my tractor. And the entire time, my 4-year-old daughter is on the edge of her seat. She's like, Daddy, you've got it. You've got it. You almost have it. It is so, come on, Dad, you can do this. And I'm like, I'm trying.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, that is so precious. I love it. I'm like on edge just myself.
So anyways, I got the trailer down, all that stuff. I found on the map where there was a little picture of a pig, and I was like, oh, do I just go there and just buy pigs? Cool. So one of the trailers that I bought, which when I purchased it, that's when it spawned halfway across the map, and they were like, go pick it up, idiot. And I was like, great. It was a livestock trailer. So I get in my little truck, go all the way over, hitch onto the livestock trailer, and then like at the very northern tip of the map is the little pig symbol. I was like, great, I'm going to drive my trailer up there. I'm going to buy some pigs, and then I can tell Tuesday, see, I bought pigs, and then I can quit playing this game forever.
He's just like, that'll show her that she'll be feeling about these pigs.
I'll show her. I can buy fake
pigs.
I'll show
her a pig. I'll get all the pigs in the game.
I'll buy all the pigs. Yeah. So I'm driving this trailer, up these hills, down these hills. And once again, suddenly the physics are real life 1-to-1. The truck that I was pulling the trailer with was too light. So as I was going up hills, it would like pull the rear tires up off the ground because the trailer was too heavy. And then I couldn't steer. And it took way longer than it should have to go across the map, which isn't that big. It's not, it's not Skyrim sized or anything. It's quite small. And so, I take like 10 minutes to drive up there to this little pig symbol where I'm like, this is a pig farm. This is going to be great. I get there. It's completely empty and deserted.
No.
And I was like, what is this? So I, hop out of the trailer. I run around looking for, something. Cause in the town, when you go like the market area, there's a door. You don't go into the door, but you go up to the door and an icon appears and you hit the button and that opens the catalog. And it's like, okay, now you can buy stuff. So I thought the same thing with the pigs. Like I just need to find the door and then that'll open up a menu with the buy pigs now button, and then they'll blow it up into the trailer and then I can go. But no. And I don't know exactly how to do it in the game yet, and I will never find out, but I'm pretty sure that you are supposed to buy the pig farm, and that's how you get the pigs.
Aww.
And so I was not willing to put in that much effort into this game, to spend that much time to say I bought pigs. So Tuesday, you win. I did not get any pigs in Farming Simulator 17.
I'm so disappointed. I also want you to know that the whole time you've been talking about Farming Sim, my dog has also been perched up on the edge of his seat, like ready to hear about these pigs. And as soon as you start talking about like the downward spiral of like we realize there's no pigs, he like turned his back. So my dog's also disappointed that there's no pigs.
I feel so sad that your dog is disappointed in me that I kind of want to keep trying to find these pigs.
He is. He hasn't turned back around yet.
Oh, poor guy. All right, so that's Farming Simulator 17. I have deleted it from my Xbox. I'm not playing it anymore. I was kind of giving it the benefit of the doubt the first time I played it, but when I dug a little deeper, there's not much game there. It's a lot of time wasting, a lot of bad driving, a lot of unnecessarily correct physics in the game where it's not needed. It's just kind of a waste. I can see how, people who don't know about better Sims would be like, this is really cool. Like I'm pretending to be a farmer, which is what a simulator is. But this is not a good one. This is not a good simulator.
Good to know. I'll go back to Lemonade Tycoon then.
Yes. Lemonade Tycoon. Or what was a really good game. It's not, was it Prison Architect? Prison Architect is really good.
Yes, I've seen a lot. I have that sitting on my computer right now. Something I want to get. That's a game and a half.
There's a lot of game there. Yeah, I got it before it was like in its beta many years ago, and I've been keeping up with it. I haven't played it in a couple years now, but I've kept up to date on the news. Paradox Interactive, which is the creators of Stellaris, which I've been playing my pants off, they just purchased Prison Architect. So that's pretty neat, I think.
Okay.
Anyway, enough about that. Let's see. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Tuesday, why don't you tell us a little bit more about Book of Unwritten Tales?
Okay, so this is actually the second one, and I kind of felt like I was a little lost playing it when I first started it. So I didn't know there was a first. Well, I knew there was a first one, obviously, because this is Book of Unwritten Tales 2. So I had to go and watch what happened in the first one to understand what's happening now.
So it's pretty deep, like lore-wise, story-wise, like you need to know what's going on?
Yeah, and I didn't realize that, because you know how you can just like pick up, certain games, like Resident Evil, for example. You don't necessarily have to play the other ones to understand like what's happening. Like you just know, oh, I gotta run before I die.
Right.
Type of thing. Or,
Shoot the
like
zombie.
other Pokemon games. Yeah, there are other Pokemon games. You don't really need to know what's going on. You just need to know you need to throw balls and make them fight each other.
Right.
So, but no, this game, this one picks up off of where the last one left off. So I didn't know that. And there are 4 main characters that you play as, and you cycle through each of them. So I had no clue, like, why one minute I was this elf princess, and then, like, the next minute I had another story with this gnome magician, which is kind of cool.
Right on.
Yeah. His name is Wilbur.
Whoa.
So he is a gnome. Yeah, so he is a gnome mage. And then there's a human that you can play as. And then there is this creature called Critter. It's like this fuzzy alien, I guess is the best way to describe it. So far, though, my favorite is the elf princess. She kind of reminds me of Zelda. Also, I have like a deep connection with her because the first 5 minutes of the game, her mom's like, "Yeah, you look sick. I think you're getting fat." And it's like, "Oh, okay."
Oh yeah, that is so insulting.
Right.
That is the
Wonderful.
best 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, that's like the first 5 minutes, and then she like locks you in your room, and you have to figure out how to trick your bird, which like your bird is your messenger, and it like snitches on you. So you have to trick your bird. And it took me like, I swear, like 45 minutes to do this like simple game. Like, I'm sure this game was definitely invented for like a 10-year-old or something, because I mean, I like cute little games like this. But I was like sitting there, and there's like, so to picture the room, for those of us who have not played this game, which I imagine isn't many, or maybe there's a lot of fans out there and you guys can all laugh at me, I don't know. You're in your room, and there's like your bed, there's a table, it's got some stuff on it, and then there's another table that has this jewelry box, which is important, and then there's a mirror that your bird really likes going to, and then you can go outside to the balcony, and the idea is you're supposed to climb down the balcony, but you can't let your bird know. So you have to somehow know to pick the sunflower seeds, which are also, there's a sunflower on the balcony, so you have to know to go pick those, take the seeds, put them in a bowl, get the bird to leave the mirror, get the mirror, put it in front of the jewelry box, and then trap the bird so that you can climb down and leave, so that your mom doesn't come and criticize you more.
So that's the beginning of the game?
Yeah, like,
wow.
Which is why I'm saying I was very lost playing it, because I was like, okay, so this like elf prince that's coming to marry you. So that's when I was like, I'm missing something here. So come to find out, you're part of this like royal elf family, and they're marrying you off to knights and kingdoms. So I guess there's like some weird PG-rated Game of Thrones stuff that's gonna happen. I don't know. We're uniting kingdoms here. But your character, she's her own woman, so she's like, nah, I don't really want to do that. She wants to go on adventures, and then you have to make this potion, and then you can switch off, because you meet the other characters, and then you switch off of them. So
do you switch off with the other characters at will, or is it like dependent on where the plot is?
Yeah, it's plot dependent.
Okay. All right.
So, I mean, it's fun. There's a lot of interacting you have to do. Like, you can see everything that's interactable, and then, like, everything you do kind of affects everything else, if that makes sense. So, like, if you look at, I don't know, like, the bookshelf, like, it kind of unlocks the next thing you can do in the room. If you're there's, like, a library downstairs you can go to. So it, like, unlocks the next thing, because it's like, oh, books. Oh, you need to find this book. Like, okay, cool. And then, you do whatever action is next type of deal.
Okay.
So everything is very dependent on, like, what you do with everything.
It's kind of reminding me of the Telltale, like Walking Dead, or any of the other Telltale games where you're just kind of like poking around at things until you kind of find a thread to pull at, and then suddenly the story starts to unravel. I mean, that kind of sounds a bit.
It's kind of like that. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a fun game. I'm unfortunately one of those people who overanalyzes everything. So I'm just like, there's a bee's nest. Like, immediately my mind goes to Animal Crossing. Like, I'm gonna shake the tree and the bees are gonna come. And then I'm gonna have to run inside to my house, which is not paid off by Tom Nook.
Yeah, you gave me a little like crash course on Animal Crossing the other day on Discord, and that sounds like a crazy ass game, like out of context.
It does. It really does. Like, I thought about it, and I was like, it's such a simple game, but.
So the Book of Unwritten Tales 2, I think we said before we started, or you told us before we started, that you're doing, is it like a review for Ouch That Hurts?
Yes. Hopefully I will have my review up by the time this podcast will be out. It should be up already on Ouch That Hurts.
Okay, cool.
Kind of fine-tuning different things I want to say about it, because at first when I started playing it, I messaged my friend, and I was like, dude, I don't understand this game. Like, I don't think I like it. And he was like, well, just keep playing it. Just keep playing it. It might be one of those games that you get more into as you play it. And then I was like, okay. And then that's when I realized I was missing a big piece of this game, because I hadn't played the first one yet. So I might have to go back and play the first one if I can find it. I'm sure.
From what I'm looking at, it looks really pretty. I like the art style of the game. Like, the art style is really pretty. That's what initially drew me to it. Actually, was the art style. And I found the beehive. I'm actually looking. I'm looking at the image of the beehive. I can actually see what you're talking about.
I haven't figured out the use for it yet, but I'm sure there's something later on.
What can we use beehives for? potions,
Honey.
maybe. Oh yeah, honey, I guess.
Just honey. Come on, Steve. You can't overanalyze too much. That or you throw a rock at it for the bees.
You can,
Right, and my thing is like, well, my character doesn't like her mom, so can we like plant the beehive somewhere and then just like let nature do its thing?
Whoa!
So this is what I hear. I have an idea what's going to happen. That beehive is essential to the game. What you're going to have to end up doing in the game is eventually find a jar, and it's missing its lid, so you're going to have to find the lid as well. Once you do that, you're going to have to lure it with flowers that are specific to a certain location in the game. Once you acquired all 3 items, you will have to bring it all back to the beehive to collect the bees to be stored in the jar to be used at whatever moment you wish for an essential different ending.
Are you reading out of a wiki? Because that sounds just crazy enough to work.
No.
It'll be like a truth or dare, but it'll be truth or bees, and then someone says bees, and I'm like, he picked the bees. Release them.
Truth or bees?
Oh god, I'm scared of the games you guys used to play as kids now.
Oh, never play Truth or Bees. There are no winners to Truth or Bees.
There is if you have an EpiPen.
But I mean, is that really winning or just surviving?
That is using my resources to the best of my ability.
And that's all that matters. Point.
So, Jesus, the other day, I saw that you were streaming Kingdom Hearts or Kingdom Hearts 3. And then I saw that you were streaming it again and again and again. You've been streaming this thing like every day since it came out. Isn't that right?
So, yeah. So, another reason I've been kind of MIA on the podcast is I've been upping my streaming game. This month of last month of January. We're in February now. So I've given myself a proper schedule. Like I stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Fridays, for between 4 to 5 hours.
Wow.
So I've given myself a proper schedule. The only time I've missed it was I was having some eye troubles. But that was cleared up through a doctor the visit to the eye doctor. But it was nothing too serious. But no, I've been hard focused on streaming a lot lately. Yes, I've been streaming Kingdom Hearts 3. Before I get started with my Fallout style rant.
Yes.
So I was listening to I'm gonna be honest. I might not have been on the podcast for a while, but I still listen to you guys because I love every member of this podcast. And
thank you.
Meeting Tuesday, finally, for once. It's good to hear her voice to voice. But as I was listening, sorry?
I was going to say, yeah, it's good to finally meet you too.
But after listening to that very intriguing farming simulator of last week's episode, when the moment you guys started talking about Kingdom Hearts, it hurt me. I honestly had to stop listening to the episode. It hurt me dearly.
No!
It just like I give credit to Dan. Like actually, we talked a little bit about that too. But it hurts so much that I honestly had to stop the episode and like, no, I can't listen to more. It's hurting me.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But that's kind of just my own little my little gripe there. But you know, to be honest, like he mentioned, Kingdom Hearts is a very convoluted story. I'm not gonna, I'll admit it. But, actually, as far as the recording of this episode, I just finished the main story of Kingdom Hearts, 30 hours of nothing but gameplay. So,
wow.
Yes.
Wait, now when you say main story, is there like a new game plus or an epilogue? Like, what do you mean by, like, it sounds like there's more to it.
So, okay. Okay, we're gonna get to the heat of the matter. So,
okay.
So Kingdom Hearts has a very interesting battle mechanics and I was playing it already on its hardest setting on proud mode. So I was challenging myself on top of that. So from what I'm hearing, there is no hard mode plus or critical mode going to be released anytime soon.
Okay.
But there is a lot of side content in this game. There's a bunch of weapons to collect, different mini games to complete, different secret bosses to do. I was just kind of focusing for the most part. I was focusing on trying to complete the story because I've been waiting 13 years for this game. With like Dan said, there's a lot of other games in there, but to get to this point of the story, it took a very long time. And funny enough, the game starts off not at Kingdom Hearts 3. It actually starts at Kingdom Hearts 2.9, which gave me a chuckle and made me laugh and hurt at the same time.
Wait. So it said 2.9 on the screen?
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was. It's a funny joke coming from Kingdom Hearts 2.8. So I get it. It's just consider it your like tutorial into the game, and then it hits you right into Kingdom Hearts 3, and the game truly begins, and then the wildness ensues, basically. And 30 hours later, I finished the game after so many frustrating boss battles and yelling at myself, why did I go on the hardest settings? And yeah, I've enjoyed it. I will say now, I know you guys don't know too much of the lore behind Kingdom Hearts.
No.
As far as the lore and answering questions, there have been some questions answered, but because of that, so many other questions have been asked, and I am more lost than I've ever been in the last couple of years.
Wow.
So, but I'm excited. This Kingdom Hearts 3 is kind of the closing to a very long arc of the Seekers of Darkness saga. So it's a great way to finish so many games of a story, just to see where it's going to go after this. Because once you finish the game and the finale, the epilogue, there's a scene that foretells what will possibly happen next. And I don't want to give spoilers this time around because it's kind of at the moment in the Kingdom Hearts community, it's a bit taboo right now to do so.
Yeah, it's a bit early. The game just came out, and you had to do 30 hours. Like, didn't it just come out last week?
Yes, but I took a week off work to just play it and stream it.
The casual
That's
player,
dedication.
which I don't know if there are any casual Kingdom Hearts players, but I'd imagine the casual player is maybe played half of what you have. My guess.
So I can then I'll turn it back a little bit. So as far as the casual, the game actually starts off really when you start up the game, it actually has a very reasonable not intro. There's this library archive with a couple little movies, and it's like a storybook. It explains kind of the how it began to where you're at this point of the story. It's not as knowledgeable as you want it to be, but it'll catch you up just to what you need to know about what's happening in Kingdom Hearts. There's 6 books. They're about 5 minutes apiece to listen to this story tale, which basically it is.
Wait, 5 minutes apiece. There's 6 of them, so it takes you half an hour to like get caught up on where the story is now.
To just know the brief people who's happening. There's a wonderful 1.5 hour video out there that explains it just about right out there. I've seen that twice, and I give it props to whoever edited that, because they did a really good job of explaining a lot of what's happening in most of the Kingdom Hearts games to this point.
That's amazing. That's amazing. There's that much like story out there. There's that much lore around the property. That's really cool.
Yes. Well, there's about, let's see, it's Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, Recoded, Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts 365 over 2, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Passage Through Darkness. So that's about 8 games. Oh, and I forgot Kingdom Hearts Key, the PC mobile game, which is extremely important because that actually is key. No pun intended. No pun intended there. It's very crucial. A lot of people don't take the mobile game / PC game serious, but there is a lot of lore there that kind of is very integral to Kingdom Hearts 3.
Good deal.
Oh, okay. So there is I will spoil a little bit, just a little bit, because I found it so amazing.
All right.
So there is, like I said, this is like the final part of the saga of a very long series. And you'll know though, there's this final battle. What I found amazing is there is a section of the game, of this battle where it's quick time events. And what they did was, okay, this is not really spoiling because so there's this world called, the Keyblade Graveyard. It's kind of a graveyard of all like the fallen Keyblade wielders that fought in a giant war long, long ago.
Okay.
So there's just literally like, imagine a war and there's all their weapons on the floor. That's basic.
Okay.
So what I found so amazing was during this quick time event, all these weapons animated to assist you. It was like the souls of the lost wielders coming to help you.
Oh, cool.
Yes. And I don't know what they did or how they chose it, but what they did was it used every single blade, and there's thousands of blades. So every time you hit the triangle situation command, it used a single blade, and it'll just keep throwing them. As long as you keep tapping triangle, you kept chucking keyblades at the enemy. And the situation command had this name. I thought it was going to be the names of the characters in your party.
Mm-hmm.
But once I started actually reading them, like because it was a reasonably long QuickTime event, like for sorry, it's fun to say, but every name on that list were actually players from the mobile game. They literally had different people from different factions. Like you could see their names and what faction they belong to, and you were using other people's keyblades who were in the mobile games because the mobile game takes in the past and your character eventually dies because of the war. But
spoilers.
Yeah. Oh no, that's the first one. That's the first one.
Okay.
Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. The war is over. This is the second war.
Oh, okay.
This is World War II, Keyblade War II. And you have a chance to show up in the game as a fallen Keyblade and defeat the bad guy. And I found that very amazing. It made me smile a lot. It was just fun. I love that.
That's really cool. They use like what player names from an old, well, I don't know how old, but from a past mobile game as a weapon, like a mass weapon in the newest game. That's amazing. That's really cool.
Yes, I didn't know that was going to happen, and I heard there was going to be some integration to this mobile game. The mobile game's still pretty new; it's still getting some updates.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I did not know how they're going to do it because they were running a free DLC. If you played a certain part of the mobile game after completing a few like tasks, you get a DLC code for a DLC Keyblade in the game. So like, okay. So that's all I really thought was going to happen. That was the only integration I thought was going to happen with the mobile game. Was the mini game, you get a DLC code and you get a Keyblade in the game. But no, they took your character who has fallen in that world and brought him back in Kingdom Hearts.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
My head is spinning.
So, yeah, you're welcome to ask any questions before we end that, because it is this Kingdom Hearts itself can become its own podcast. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally could.
I have some questions.
Go. Okay. So I'm ready to take any questions.
Okay. So, I mean, my biggest question is, has Donald improved in this game?
No, I still hate him. His voice, as much as I enjoyed the voice actor, after 5 minutes of hearing him, no.
That is my favorite, like, Kingdom Hearts thing. I don't really play. I've watched my friends play it. It's not, I don't know why, it's just not something I've ever been interested in playing, but I like watching other people play it. But that's one of my favorite, like, Kingdom Hearts jokes. Is Donald's existence in the whole game.
Like, yeah, his character in the game is okay. His character is what it is. I really enjoy his the way he interacts with Sora and Goofy. But that voice, if anyone's ever seen any Disney short or anything, Donald's voice can get really frustrating if you're constantly listening to 30 hours of it.
Is it one of those games where like he's got the same like 12 lines of dialogue during combat that just repeat over and over again? Is that
Yes.
part of the annoyance? Okay.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's wonderful.
So, I have a question. Which Disney places do you go to in this one?
So this one, let's see, trying to remember. So you start out going to Olympus. That's a classic staple of the world. But what's interesting about Olympus is, in the previous games, you would only go to the Colosseum and kind of do like a boss rush, and just do that. You would just go there to kill as many of the enemies as much as possible. But what they did for Kingdom Hearts 3 is they actually expanded the world, and that's one thing I really liked about Kingdom Hearts 3. The world is it's not really open world, but it's vastly larger, and the load times aren't that bad either. So you can explore a lot of the world. So that's the first one, Olympus. After that, you go to, let's see here. One of the new places you go to is the Toy Story world.
Oh, cool.
So what's fun? Oh my god, I love the Toy Story world so much. I love the story they pulled out from there. The interaction you have with Buzz and Woody, Rex, Ham, and the little aliens. It's so great. It feels like it came straight out of the movie. It's so perfect.
Nice.
See here. Next, you go to Tangled. So
okay.
So Tangled was here. I have a little gripe on Tangled. So like I said, I was streaming, so I upload the archives straight to my YouTube channel. The gripe I had with Tangled was they did such a good job with that, because it's almost a reasonable adaptation of the film.
Mm-hmm.
That you're playing the film just with Kingdom Hearts thrown in there. That there's a scene where Rapunzel and Eugene are in the castle in the finale. That is almost so identical that when I uploaded it to YouTube, it picked it up as the original film, not gameplay cutscene.
Oh no! Wow.
So I got striked, but thank God I was able to dispute that and fix it. Like, this is not the movie. This is a cutscene from the game. Please remove it, please. But it's a fun tale. That was another fun thing. The world was beautiful. I can say that about almost everything about the game. It's truly beautiful. Let's see here. After Tangled, you go to, let's see here, another new world. You go to Monsters Incorporated.
Okay.
That one's fun because it takes place right after the first Monsters Inc. And you're doing the whole no more screams. It's all laughter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, telling jokes and stuff. Because,
Yeah.
laughter had more power than screams. Yeah, I remember that.
So in this one, the evil people, the organization, is trying to use bring back like negative emotions to kind of fuel their power. There's a whole storyline, but I'm gonna try to cut it down. But
Okay.
but to that point, they're trying to stop. There's just a lot of fun interaction between Sully, Mike Wazowski, and Boo, and
Mike Wazowski.
exactly. It's the cutscene when you first enter the world and you meet them, and Boo just starts yelling at Donald because depending on what world you go to, there's a thing called keeping the balance between the worlds. Your character avatar changes to adapt to that world. So Sora, Donald, and Goofy turn into monsters.
Mm-hmm.
And Donald is this one-eyed monster, and Boo keeps calling him Mike Wazowski because he has one eye as well.
Nice.
So that's adorable. Let's see here. Next is Big Hero 6, San Francisco.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. So I actually, there are two films that I had to watch before I played Kingdom Hearts, and that was one of them. I haven't watched it until Kingdom Hearts 3. I had to find it before the game came out. I watched it, loved the movie, played the game. Sorry?
Oh, I was just saying it's a pretty good movie.
It is a pretty good movie because it's good. I watched it because the story that came out of Big Hero 6 world is the aftermath of Big Hero 6 and what happened to the Mayamex of that dimension, and he kind of come back as a bad guy and stuff.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
So that was fun, and getting to play with all the members of Big Hero 6 and everything were cool. And so after that is the second movie I had to watch was Frozen.
No.
I sat down and watched Frozen just so I had an idea, because I didn't know if it was going to be a duplicate of the film, not a duplicate, but an adaptation to the film, or if it was going to be an aftermath like some of the other things. I sat down, watched the film. Reasonably good film. It's Disney, can't really go bad.
Mm-hmm.
And playing the Frozen world, it is another adaptation of the film. So I rewatched the film.
Oh no!
Here's another gripe I have. So there's one thing I wish was happening back in Toy Story where they had the old what's that one song from Toy Story?
You Got a Friend in Me.
You've got a friend in me?
Yeah, they use that as the background music, and I love that song.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I wonder if they're ever going to do music or anything here. Come Frozen, there are 2 musicals. And I was like, what? I was joking 8 hours ago, but it's happening right now. So you have the whole Let It Go thing.
Uh-huh.
It's the whole thing, the whole Let It Go thing. And with a mix of Kingdom Hearts in there, but it's the whole Let It Go sequence, the whole song in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Wow.
And they do the You Want to Build a Snowman.
Mm-hmm.
What would you rather listen to, that or Donald for 30 hours?
Oh, God. Can I get back to you that? You'll find out next week's episode of the Save Point podcast.
I'm pretty sure that I have listened to those Frozen songs for 30 hours.
Any advice?
Kill yourself. No.
That's the very last layer of hell right there. It's just that song on repeat, and then Donald just like.
Oh no, Donald. No, it's Donald singing "Let It Go."
Oh man, don't even. Oh,
so
that's awful.
I'm currently fighting that dispute, arguing that this is a cutscene. Please take it off. Don't do that to me. I honestly, it surprised me, but annoyed me a little. But I like what they did, adapting it, and it makes sense. It's a very crucial part of the film and what's happening behind the characters.
If I could interrupt you real quick, did they get the voice actors from the films, or are they like sound alikes? or is it a mix of both?
There's actually a good amount of voice actors that they brought back to bring to each world. I believe they got most of the actors for Big Hero 6. I want to say they got even the Toy Story actors. Don't hold me to that, but I think they did. I think Frozen as well. I know there's one world they weren't able to, and I think that was they got Olympus. There's one world I don't think they did. I think it's Monsters Incorporated.
Okay, so John Goodman and
Billy Crystal, right?
Yes, Billy Crystal. Thank you.
But they're
You're welcome.
I would have to go through the credits again to see who was in there, because there was a good amount of names that I noticed from there.
That's cool.
And I'm trying to think. I think
so.
That's all the Disney / Pixar worlds that. Oh wait, I forgot about the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen screenshots of that, and that looks pretty darn cool. The screenshots, at least.
It is. So what's cool? What's cool about the game is every time you enter the world, the palette style of what you're looking at changes slightly.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in Olympus, everything looked so shell shaded. Not too bad, but you can tell it felt like the film was supposed to look. But then when you end up in Pirates of the Caribbean, it looks so realistic. It's so different from like Olympus or any of the cartoon versions. Like every world you go into, it feels like you're in that film, and that's what they're trying to do, and it works so well.
That when I saw the screenshot, I thought, like, I didn't read the headline. I just saw this picture and I was like, oh, they doing another Pirates of the Caribbean movie? And then I looked closer and I was like, is that Goofy? I got to click on this. What is this? And then it was a screenshot from Kingdom Hearts 3. And I was like, oh, wow, that's impressive. It looks really good.
Yes, they did a very fun job. They have a very fun pirate ship mechanic. You're actually in a ship trying to level it up, kill monsters on the waves. Pretty fun. Has one of the worst air combat battles that I didn't think I was gonna have to do. Like, I spent, there's a air boss battle. I spent an hour because I couldn't figure out the mechanics, and it was making me mad. Like, everything about that world, the Pirates of the Caribbean world is fun to look at. The ship's great, but that boss battle was so frustrating. It kind of brought it down for me after.
Oh, bummer.
But besides that, the Pirates of the Caribbean world fun. They took the story from At World's End with Davy Jones and
okay.
So
Callisto.
Yes, that.
Yeah.
So they're doing that storyline for this one. So that was fun. Everything, and that's about it as far as Disney, and everything else is kind of original world.
So there wasn't, well, no, I guess you said the Olympus, so Hercules, but there was no other, it sounds like there was not any other like classic 2D style Disney stuff in there. It was all like the Pixar and all, CG type stuff.
No,
That's an interesting move to make. Yeah,
but, well, as far as the story progression, a lot of those worlds were kind of done in the first multiple games because they're following the story beats of the films for the most part, and there's almost no reason to go back. It would be great to go back, but there's nothing without adding like new story to the world that I don't know if the writers would want to do. It took a long time to get here, but but most of those worlds were, as story wise, were done with the movie adaptations or a little after the aftermath. But what's fun is, as far as 2D animations, you're able to get Simba from Lion King as a summon, so you can have Simba as one of your allies.
Oh, cool! I didn't know that's a thing in the game. That's cool.
Yeah. Let's see here. You can get Ariel from The Little Mermaid as an ally too.
Cool.
You can get Stitch from Lilo and Stitch as an ally.
Nice.
And that's it for 2D, because in 3D you can get Wreck-It Ralph as an assist too.
Nice.
So the combat in this game is really great and so versatile. You can play in almost different styles. You can have different keyblades to your gameplay. There's long range, short range. There's magic. There's summons. There's what you hopped into one of my streams and saw the whole carnival ride.
Yeah, I was like, what is going on? This is insane. And then my kid kept crying, and so I had to stop watching. But it looked like the train from the Disney parade, like the electric parade or whatever it's called.
Yes. What is the name of that?
I don't know.
I can't remember. But no, yeah. There's attractions, which are very powerful, little quick time events. And, there's so many ways to play this game. Like honestly, I want to go back and try to figure out my playstyle because I kept swapping between weapons to see which one I felt more comfortable using. And sometimes I didn't even use any of my magic, and I was just using the blade and the attractions. And there's such a wide variety of ways, and that's one great thing I can say about it.
So to kind of put a bow on this, and by the way, I Googled it. It's the Disney Main Street Electric Light Parade is the name of the thing. But to put a bow on this, Kingdom Hearts 3 is now over and done with. And you say that at the end, it kind of leads you to believe there may be more. Where do you want to see the game go? Do you want to see just kind of more of the same with new worlds? Or do you want to take a left turn and try something completely different? Maybe have like a coherent story. Like, what do you which direction do you think they should go?
It's weird. It's not like it doesn't have a cohesive story. It has a story. There's just so many games out there you quote have to play that makes it ridiculous to follow. If it was like a film, like the first two films, like what's happening? It's like what is that? Fantastic Beasts. It's like that at the moment.
Okay.
Once the third film hits, you're like, okay, more things are happening, more things are progressing.
Right.
The story's good. As far as what's going to happen afterwards, the epilogue leads you to believe what's to come. So I don't want to spoil that. Like I have an idea of what's going to be happening, and I'm extremely excited for what the future holds.
Well, like aside from that, like what would you want? Like, do you just want to just see where they go with it, or do you have like a dream idea for what Kingdom Hearts could be or should be?
Honestly, I haven't had any doubts of what they've been putting out lately. They've just been improving on what they've been putting out. So I'm just looking forward to what's to come next.
Good deal. All right, cool. Let's see. Let me check where we're at time-wise here. Ooh, we just passed an hour. Okay. So we've got a couple more things to talk about. I'll quickly hit on Resident Evil 2. So I think it was last week we talked about the Resident Evil 2 demo. Tuesday, you're the one that brought that to my attention, that it was that they even did a demo for this, and it's a one-shot demo.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's very stressful.
Super stressful. Like, besides the fact that it's a stressful game, you also have this timer going, which they don't show that the first time. Okay, so here's what happened. I downloaded it, I played it. As you're playing it, and it just kind of throws you in there. I don't think it's like where the game. So let me back up a little bit more. I've never played Resident Evil 2. I watched a friend of mine play parts of Resident Evil on his PlayStation, back in high school. But I've never played Resident Evil 2. I don't know much about it at all. So when the game starts up, you're in the police station and doing things. And just from experience with games, this didn't feel like the beginning of the game. This felt like an hour into the game or so.
And I will say that that's kind of the beginning of the game, actually.
That's just how the game starts? Really?
Yep. Yeah. That's how the game starts. If you choose Leon as your first character.
Is there like a cutscene or something that kind of explains what's happening?
Yes.
Or it just starts like that? Oh, okay.
There are. So So sorry I interrupted you, but there are 2 characters you can choose to start with. You can start by Leon. I forget. I think it's Claire. You can choose
Claire.
you can choose which person you want to start, because the first part of the game, whoever you choose, you play that part of the story. Then you go to like side B and you play as the other character. So you can play this game multiple times to see what's happening. So you can play the game first as Leon, then Claire, and you'll get like a whole story there. But then you can play as Claire, then Leon, and you can see what's happening at the same time, like parallels. And then there's like this third character out there and multiple other characters. Actually, this game has a lot. There's a lot to this.
Okay, all right. I'm intrigued. So I started playing the game, and the thing that kind of ratchets up the tension. Well, there's a couple things. One, when I first started the game, and it goes to the whole thing where I'm playing on PC, and it's like, hit the button to make it bright or not bright or what. Like, there's all these little settings to do before the game actually starts. My keyboard didn't respond. My mouse didn't respond. I had to like force quit the game, plug in my Steam controller because I don't have any other controller, and then reboot it, and then the Steam controller worked. So I haven't used my Steam controller very much, and so I'm like unfamiliar with the button layout. And so going into a stressful game like this, I was like, oh, this will be interesting. So then the game starts up, start playing, figure like, I don't know what's happening, but it's very clearly laid out what you're supposed to do, and getting a feel for the controls and all that. And then on the bottom of the screen, a Steam achievement pops up and it says 5 minutes played. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I keep playing, and then boom, 10 minutes played. So every 5 minutes, I have this little reminder pop up in the corner of my screen, like letting me know how much time I have left, essentially. And that added like another layer of stress. So I have an unfamiliar game, an unfamiliar controller, and it's timed.
I feel like you got the best experience. Like, that is just like stress to the max. Like, let's go, let's do this.
I was by the end, when like the zombies start zombieing at you, I felt very stressed. I was like, I want to pause and take a break, but I'm being timed, so I can't. And that's kind of brutal. But the game itself, to get to the Resident Evil 2, what's it called? Like a remake or a remaster? Is that what it is?
It would be a remastered. It's a remaster, I would believe. Yeah.
Okay, so Resident Evil 2 remaster. I see what the game is going for in terms of puzzles and narrow hallways and zombies that just won't die even though you've headshot them 3 times. It's very slow and methodical. And then when things happen quickly, it's very stressful because you're not prepared for it, and the game doesn't lend itself to be played quickly. But that's, by design, so you get that stress.
Well, the difficulty auto adjusts to you as well.
Oh, really? Okay, so the first zombie I come across, you don't want to headshot it so that it, like all the rest of the zombies for the rest of the game have like super health. Got it.
I don't know. You have limited ammo as well.
Yeah, limited ammo. Oh man.
Yeah, it's a very stressful game, to say the least. Going into that.
It was cool coming across all the puzzle stuff that was unsolvable because you only have half an hour. So it's like, here's a missing fuse box, and here's a panel that you can't get into because you don't have the right tool yet, and here's a statue with a combination on it that you have to figure out. Here's another thing with like these seals that you have to put into it. Who's making these police precincts with puzzles built into them? That's what I want to know. Is that ever answered in the lore of Resident Evil 2?
A very dick boss. Actually, no. There is this. I forget what type of dog it is. I think it's corgi. I think the corgi's the one monitoring everything.
Is it okay? That's frightening.
Don't think about it. Just let the world be run by this corgi.
Okay, I'll just let it go. So I played through the game. It was very stressful. Solved a couple puzzles. When the time was up, it was like it just like slowly fades away and says time's up. And I wanted to play more. And what it left me with was asking the question, why don't more games come out with demos nowadays? Like, at this point, I want to buy and play this game because it has shown me that even though I only played with it for 30 minutes, I enjoyed those 30 minutes and I want more. It was compelling enough that I want more. It also helps that I've never, even though it's a remaster, I never played the original. So for me, it's a brand new experience. Graphics were really good. The sound design was awesome. Like all that stuff, I was all in. So more games should have demos like this. And I don't know why they don't.
So, There's one thing I can say is PlayStation, what they do is a good chunk of their game library, you can actually download technically the whole game, and you can play an hour worth of the game, and then you can decide if you want to purchase.
Okay.
I know PlayStation does that.
That makes a lot of sense.
Well. There's like a whole thing on the Switch that's like games with demos.
Okay, so
they do something similar. It's not quite as I guess good as what PlayStation does, but yeah, they put out some demos as well.
Okay, so my problem then is that the Xbox doesn't do that, and so the developers aren't going to make a demo just for one system when the other two will kind of auto demo for you with a timed playthrough. That makes sense. Okay. All right, I am less angry now.
No, you're right.
It's
just you, Steve.
It's just me.
But you're right. There are a lot of people, as far as like single player games, there isn't that many like demos like before the games. We have betas for multiplayers now just for like stress tests. But as far as like here's the game that's going to come out X day, you can try a demo a week before if you want to buy it. Yeah, we don't see that often, and
or even like freeware, but way back in the day, in the early days of PC, when like Doom and stuff, there was like a freeware version where they're like, here's the first 2 levels, play it as many times as you want.
I remember back when you got the PlayStation CDs, you got like 5 games and you can play like the first 2 levels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I had was it PC?
I started playing Medieval actually.
I had a subscription to PC Gamer, and they would come, every issue would come with a demo disc, and I would play every single demo on there just because it was like free games. And that's actually where I discovered Fallout. There was a Fallout demo, and I played that thing like 20 times. It's amazing.
But yeah,
that's how I got into Crash Bandicoot on the PlayStation too. It was one of the demos on one of my PlayStation discs.
Nice.
It's rare to see that, but actually, I actually downloaded. PlayStation just put out one of their VR demos that has a couple of their new games coming out. I barely saw that. I haven't played it yet. I've been too engulfed in other games, but soon I'll have that and see what that's about. I think that's becoming it's coming out a little bit more, a resurgence of demos a little bit more.
It makes sense because these games, a lot of them, it's an investment, not only because you're paying $60, for the honor of playing the game, but then you have to see, is this the kind of game where a bunch of DLC is going to come out, or, is our loot box is going to be a thing, or, who knows what else is going on with the game? Is, the online play, what's the connectivity like, and so there's a lot of investment to put into these games now. To just like go down to the store and just, buy a game, you need to do your research. And I think right now where the market sits is that we're kind of letting other people do the research for us. So YouTube videos, podcasts, there are, you go to reviews. Yeah. Ouchthathurts.com. And so
shameless plug.
Shameless. So much shameless. And so you go to these other places, the place that you trust, to say like, okay, you tell me, am I going to like this? But there's a lot to be said for, well, just put your own hands on it, just try it a little bit. And so I think maybe in some respects, it's kind of swinging the other way of like, look, not to bash, review sites or anything like that, ouchthathurts.com, but like some review sites are being, paid by publishers, or, there are issues with review score bombings. And, just now it's such a ubiquitous thing that there are issues with it. And so I can understand why some developers want it to swing the other way and say like, no, let's ignore all that. Here, try the game. You tell yourself if you like it. Don't listen to other people that may or may not be telling you the truth. So, I understand it. I get it both ways. Yeah. Okay. So Resident Evil 2, I'm now going to put some dollars aside and purchase that and play it because it looks and played awesome. And I want to know, how to solve the puzzles and shoot the zombies. And so
you'll love it. Honestly, I think you'll love it. I was fun.
It's a good one.
Yes. They did a good chunk of bringing back some of the old puzzles and including some new ones in there. You will feel on edge a lot with your limited capacity, your limited ammo, and depending on all the little boss battles you'll get to, you're gonna have fun. Trust me.
I'm excited. I'm super excited. All right, we're running a bit long, so Jesus, why don't you wrap us up with talking about Apex Legends a little bit?
So to finish it off, the latest game that just came out just yesterday, I didn't know what was happening. A game from Respawn and published by EA, which scares me a little bit.
That should frighten everybody.
And 24 hours later, as far as this podcast being published or recorded, Apex Legends is another battle royale.
Okay.
It is a free-to-play battle royale.
Oh, good. It doesn't cost us anything. Great.
It does not. It launched relatively well. Like, you could get in there and play the game.
Okay.
Respawn did such a really good job with their launch, and the gameplay itself is actually not too bad. It's unlike some of the other battle royals at the moment where it's like third person, this is first person. The world is very big. There's multiple layers, different levels, as far as like environments, so it's not like flat. It's kind of like a little bit like Overwatchy, like you choose like a hero or a person and you get that ability to use during the game. They already have a whole year roadmap planned out for just 2019. As I personally played 2 hours worth. I enjoyed it, but I'm not that good at battle royales or shooters. But I did watch a couple of hours while I was editing of people who are actually good at these types of games, and they were having a blast. I was having fun watching them destroy people and do these new abilities, and great. It's a fun game. Surprisingly, for a game published by EA, with the worry a lot of people had. So it is a free-to-play game. There are loot boxes, but it's all cosmetic.
Okay.
And that's what Respawn stated. They had like an hour and a half long launch party and discussed kind of the idea of what's happening. I watched a good portion of it, and I'm not gonna be honest. I'm looking forward to what Apex Legends is going to be putting out in the next couple of months, because right now the game plays well. The gunplay is like really fun to do. The abilities are ridiculous and they're great. The idea of you progressing your like rank or level to get free loot boxes, to get your skins and stuff, to purchase skins with points and stuff like that. It's like I don't know what I can say wrong with it. I'm just a little worried about what EA might do along the line, because right now I know Respawn told EA that this is what they wanted to do. They didn't want to do like a Call of Duty where they wanted to have people pay for the game and then buy cosmetics later on. They wanted a free to play model. And they wanted the microtransactions to just be pure cosmetics, and it's working out. It's only 24 hours, so I'm not gonna put my foot in my mouth at the moment, but it's looking good right now. Okay. yeah, that's kind of so far what's happening with Apex Legends. There's one other thing, but I'll open the floor for the moment.
I mean, I haven't looked at it too much, but it seemed to kind of drop out of nowhere. Like it was kind of a surprise. Has this been something that people have been excited for? Because I hadn't even heard about this until yesterday.
It wasn't on my radar at all. I honestly saw like a countdown for Respawn, and I was like, because there's one thing I was looking forward to was Titanfall 3, and I thought that was going to be an announcement for that, but it was not an announcement for Titanfall 3. This announcement for Apex Legends on the 4th of February. Yeah, that just dropped out of nowhere.
So they were like, so they put a countdown on their website, and people were assuming it was going to be like an announcement for Titanfall 3, but instead they were like, this new game is coming out today or very soon. Check it out. Now go play it. That's kind of genius. I like that. Like sometimes, especially for them and for being partnered with EA, they had to get ahead of the hate cycle. Like, because as soon as even a few minutes ago, when you said, published by EA, it was like, groans, because we all know how much EA loves money. So, like, if they had 6 months of, podcasts and internet people talking about this, it would have been nothing but hate train on Apex Legends just because it was attached to EA. So instead, like, they got ahead of that by saying, let's not talk about it. Let's just drop it, let people play it. And then if they enjoy it, then they'll kind of ignore that EA part and just enjoy the game, which kind of sounds like, Jesus, that's exactly what you did. You just kind of just played the game and had fun with it. And it doesn't matter that it was published by EA.
No, yeah, I can't say any better words than that. It was a fun game. Just didn't really think about it afterwards. Just now looking at it, I'm just a little bit worried, but what the people from Respawn are looking in, what they're saying, it seems that they have a pretty good roadmap looking forward. So,
Tuesday, did you know this thing was coming out, or had you heard anything about it, or was it a surprise for you too?
This was a surprise. So, yeah, I've been pleasantly surprised by listening to this.
Well, it's free for PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, so free to play.
I'm gonna go download it on my Xbox and check it out. Then I'm all up for free games. I'll check it out. I'll play a couple rounds.
Yeah, it's a very
play something for free.
Hey, yeah. Exactly. That's a great point. Like, so many games out there, at least as far as the battle royale model is concerned, a lot of them are having you purchase like either the full $60, like a $30 or $20 one. And I personally was playing Fortnite for a while, but I kind of got away from that and kind of grown bored of it for the most part. This is a good change of pace. And the one thing is I believe it runs on the same engine that the Titanfall is run, and that game was fun. Actually, if I'm remembering correctly, Apex Legends actually takes place in the Titanfall universe.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the gripes that people are having right now, is that whereas everyone wants Titanfall 3 and when are we going to get it? But as far as their Twitter account, Respawn's Twitter account is concerned, it doesn't look like they're working on it or anytime soon. They're currently working on Apex Legends.
I'm going to call it right now and say a few months from now, Titans are going to come to Apex Legends as like super powered, like time limited things.
A special mode and stuff.
Well, just like you're playing the battle royale, right? And the whole thing with that is you're whittling it down and say, and I don't know how the game plays, but say you have 100 players, you get down to like 50 players, and then like 10 Titans drop in somewhere, and then you could still, like, whoever gets to them first, has them, but then like those are all the things everyone's fighting over, but then they only last for like, I don't know, 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever. Then they all break down, and then like 3 more spawn that are even more powerful. And like there are ways that they could introduce Titans into the game to kind of give it that flavor and kind of keep it fresh with the whole battle royale thing. I wouldn't doubt if that was part of their plan, seeing as how it's like, why else would you set it in that universe unless you just already had the art assets or whatever?
Exactly. So that would be crazy.
That'd be cool. That'd be something different, which is always good in the world of gaming. You want something new, something different. All right, that's going to do it for us this week for the Save Point Podcast. I'm going to point everybody once again to the SavePointPodcast.com. You can find a link to our Discord there. You can find this episode on at all the different locations that we have it on: iTunes, Podbean, Google Play, Spreaker, TuneIn. There's links to OuchThatHurts.com, who we are associated with, also the BS Podcast Network. So does anybody have any last words?
No, that's about it. I can keep talking about both Kingdom Hearts and Apex at the moment, but that's a talk for another day.
No, time is up.
Well, I guess I'll keep everyone posted on the bees for next time.
Hey, once you figure out that puzzle, tell us.
Tell us about the bees.
I will keep everybody posted about the bees, man.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.